so people can find their seats, you know, go to use the restroom, get some popcorn.
Yep. It's like when it really goes down, when you see this before that pay-per-view.
What do? Do you
Before
go
it
to your
starts.
seats first and then go get food and shit, or do you go get food and merch first and then go to your seats?
Food and merch first every time.
Yeah, because what's the point? No one's gonna be at your fucking seat, right?
Right. And I don't want to get up once I'm there. I tell my kids you get one bathroom break and that's it.
Oh man,
I'm
it's
just
hard
kidding.
to tell that to the wife though.
She's actually a trooper, man.
Yeah.
Full gear, I don't think she got up once.
Damn.
Yeah, shut up.
You ready?
Grinder, long gamer right there. Yeah. Let's hit it.
Get it started.
Step inside the ring, feel the adrenaline rush. Cage of iron, will dreams turn to dust. Beneath the neon lights, we unleash the fury in this virtual cage. It's time to tell our story. The cloud roars with anticipation, bites the lines, ends up on this underground fight. We're rebels of the ring, breaking all the rules, beating our hearts out like one fool. Say Davido, KVW, KVW. In the heart of the cave, we fight for love. KVW, KVW. Where legends rise and dreams burn bright above.
And we are back. It is me, Joe Reezy, and I'm here with Feel the Burn, bringing you KV, the brother. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
Doing good, Jerezy. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Glad to have you tonight. I know Abra couldn't make it because he, what happened? He fractured his tailbone doing a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, I think he's training to try and come at J2 in a couple weeks here, and he's trying to poison Rana off top rope and just didn't land it.
Spoiler
he flew
alert.
too high, dog.
He was talking that shit on the Discord, so I didn't know he would actually try it, but he couldn't make it tonight because he was just a point off from a 8. You know, I would say an 8 out of 10.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, we got to bring it to you live with KVW, bringing you the second episode. Last show, we had our debut with a tag team match between Booker T and Swerve Strickland against the homies, MJF and Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And then after that, we had Edge versus Bret Hart Canadian match.
That's right.
And then our final match that night was Kane versus Sting, with Sting coming out with the dub. All 3 matches ended with a submission. So what is it today? It's Friday. So we're going to bring you Rampage, AEW, our AEW rosters, you know, and we're going to talk that shit, talk some wrestling and everything in between. So before we begin, make sure you guys check out our Patreon page where you'll get our Discord link when we're not live. And that is on our website at cave.com. That's K4V3.com. Zach, you ready to look over tonight's show?
Let's do it, buddy.
All right, man. So, you know what? Since it's sort of early on in the season of KVW, we wanted to kind of showcase which rosters are on which brand. So we figured have a Royal Rumble for each brand, you know? So we're going to have a Royal Rumble to determine the number 1 contender for our titles because they're vacant right now, right?
Yep.
So it's going to shuffle it up, see what's popping, have the storylines kind of work themselves out there. Then we got the 2 losers from the last show. No offense. We got Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, versus Kane. AKA the Big Red Machine. And we decided we would have a, what do you call them, a minor title or a
Mid-card.
Mid-card title, which on the AEW brand for KVW, we decided to choose the international title. Just because AEW has too many belts, but I feel like they don't have a belt that's in contention for the Intercontinental title, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
What a shame. What a shame.
Well, I mean, you got to build up that legacy, so they're still, quote-unquote, a startup company, and they're still trying to find their footing, but the international title is probably the closest thing they got.
Yeah, so we chose the international title, and fighting for that, we put it in a ladder match. Make it interesting, you know. Rampage, they don't have just regular matches. Rampage has crazy ladder matches, TLC matches.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd take a little bit from AEW and put it into KVW. So we got Konnan versus Kevin Owens. Is Kevin Owens Canadian?
He is French Canadian.
Okay. Perfect. So these are two international superstars fighting for the international title. So
That's right.
we got 3 matches for you, and we gonna get started. Here we go. You fade the title. So one thing that I want to talk about, other than the show, is what one of my talking points. CM Punk. Danny, who's not here, hates CM Punk.
Yes.
My introduction to CM Punk was when he fought in the UFC, so he was always like a jabroni to me, you know? And being a fan...
That was your introduction?
It was. I knew he was from WWE. I already stopped watching WWE back then, so to me it was like... You know, I was in the UFC, so to me it was like, oh, WWE's crossing over? Is he going to be like Brock? You know, obviously I compared him to Brock right away, because why would they... Why would they throw a jabroni in the octagon? That didn't have a chance. You know?
Hilarious.
Yeah. Did you watch that? Did you watch his fights? I think he had 2.
I watched whatever he did. Yeah, I made sure to watch. So my intro to CM Punk was before that. It was when my wife started getting back into wrestling, and this was right after he was doing. It was right before the Nexus stuff. I think he was on commentary, and like I remember the name from when I was like really watching it prior to that, and I knew he won Money in the Bank. I vaguely remember the Straight Edge Society stuff, which was really good, and then the stuff with Ray, but. Like when I think back to it, I really remember when he started picking up with the new Nexus, in that time period, and then from there carrying it into Mania 27 when he fought Randy. That's my wife's favorite wrestler, so she was invested into that. And then obviously Summer of Punk, which I think we might be seeing a little bit of that in the future with Drew, but we'll definitely talk about that as that progresses. He just shared a picture today of the same. The blown kiss that Punk did to Vince when he won that Money in the Bank and then left. But that's when it exploded, right? He had the pipe bomb at that time, and you know, and then he carried the company. You know, Cena was still there pushing the merch and all that and kissing the babies, but like Punk was the one that was doing the graps, you know. So following all that, and like when he walked out, because I think the story goes that he was supposed to be starting a feud with Triple H for Mania 30, and didn't want to do it, so he just like walked out. He was like, "I'm done." He was hurt and all that jazz. But when he decided to go to UFC, I was like, "All right, cool. Let's see what happens." Like this dude talks a lot, like he's known for his talking, and then you know, let's see if he's taking it serious. He's doing something. It's good to see him back doing something because I became a fan and. Yeah, so I tried to watch as much of his stuff as possible and try to support him, you know,
outside
what do you think
of his performance.
Awful. Terrible.
In comparison to Brock Lesnar, you know, who actually won the title.
For sure. Yeah, and so when you brought up Brock, it's like that's not really, you know, it's tough to compare because Brock came in and I think he lost his first fight, but then went undefeated till he lost to Kane Velasquez.
I think he barely lost his first fight against Frank Mir, which he got a rematch
Mir.
and
Got
it
caught in
back.
an arm bar or like a knee bar or something.
Yeah, he got caught in some kind of leg
caught.
lock, which is
Yeah.
weird. And around that time, no one was throwing those. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I don't remember watching that fight from Brock, but then I ordered the next one that he fought. And I think it was against Couture, and then the rest is history. You know, or he might have fought Mir again.
You did.
And beat him, and then he fought Randy, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then won the title. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good run, man. He lost to arguably the best heavyweights too, so there's no shame in that.
Yeah, and all that to be said, when you're comparing, Punk to Brock because of how successful Brock was, he was really at a disadvantage from the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely two different animals because I don't know much about CM Punk, but I know he's got a lip on him, and the pipe bomb is something that he's really known for. You know?
Yep.
No one talks about any Brock Lesnar promos. Frankly, Brock Lesnar didn't really have a matching voice to go with the physique, I think, you know?
Yeah, the promos that you recall from Brock, I mean, at least, if you look back from now, going back, they're Paul Heyman led. But he had some ones that were funny. Like when he was shooting with Eddie, I think he came out in a sombrero or something and like was like making fun of him being Mexican. But like back then it was just hilarious. Now that wouldn't fly. But and then I think he had another one. He had the one where he had the Money in the Bank briefcase that he won. He's all dancing around with it.
I didn't watch any. I didn't know anything about the Money in the Bank up until recently. So
Okay.
like in the history of the introduction of it, I don't know much about like who won it first, or you know what I mean.
Okay. It was super recent when that happened though with Brock. It was like might have been pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his promo stuff is virtually non-existent. Paul Heyman did all the heavy lifting with that.
Two things. Shout out to Brock Lesnar for putting Eddie Guerrero over and giving him the title.
Yeah,
that was
massive
to do. Did Kurt Angle just throw Bret Hart over the rope? That's what I want to talk about.
Kurt Angle's better than Bret, dude.
We had Kurt Angle, Cody Rhodes, and Bret Hart in the ring. I was talking about a possible heat between the Canadians and the Americans because I just watched Wrestling with the Shadows and Jesus. So dirty, bro.
Well,
you could say he was the martyr of like that brand of wrestling because he didn't want to sell out to that shit. And Brock Lesnar said, "Peace out to Sting." He's fucking cleaning house right now, man.
Yeah, he is. Who just showed up? Who is it?
MJF.
Was that MJF? Oh, damn, dude.
Man, Jack Partner's over here squabbling tonight. Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes look good together, man. Hint, hint, nudge.
I mean, hey, a lot of America right there, Americana.
You know that beef between, because I was watching Wrestling with Shadows, and there was the flag match between the Canadians versus the Americans.
That was the one I was trying to reference last show that I forgot who was a part of it, but I remember that.
Whack people, bro. I feel like they just had to hire Americans that were like patriotic in order to even out the Canadian and the Canadian pride. And by the way, after watching Wrestling with Shadows, what a great angle that Bret Hart took to adapt to the Attitude Era,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be a Canadian, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a nice Canadian, not succumbing to the vices of the Attitude Era and just being better than you. Yeah. 100%.
Oh, so honorable. We got Kevin Nash and Triple H going at it. Cody Rhodes and MJF planting the
Cody
seed.
and Brock.
Planting the seeds. Did Kevin Nash and Brock Lesnar ever fight?
I don't think so.
Brock also put Cody over.
Yeah, he did. Big way.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why it worked with Cody going over Roman, in my opinion.
I don't know, though. I don't think it hit that hard, though. What do you think? Or were you satisfied with that, the way he put him over?
Yeah, yeah, I was satisfied. Was it what I wanted? No, I wanted Austin, obviously, but I didn't see the gong hit coming, and so when that hit, like I looked at my son, we were both like, "What is going on right now?" That was a
Yeah.
curveball. But what's dope about that, and some people have touched on it, but it feels like the majority of people are like, "It doesn't make sense." It actually does make sense because Taker has been fighting Samoans damn near his whole career, dude. Like he's had a lot of squabbles with the bloodline in the history of his career. So I do kind of like that curveball that was thrown into the storyline.
And we brought up Yokozuna last episode too, who was probably the
Yep.
first bloodline opponent of
Oh,
the
Brock's gone. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
shit! Kevin Nash kicked him out. I think
Exactly.
these are the last three, bro. This is only a 10-man. I thought this was a
Was it
full
10 man?
rumble. Yeah. MJF versus the Click. MJF versus the two dudes with attitudes. This
This kind of
pretty
reminds
epic.
me of the year
Against Benoit.
who won? No, well, no, not that one. There was a year when it was rated RKO against somebody. I don't think it was Cena, but it was Edge and Randy, and they were trying to take out somebody, and that person overcame. Might have been it. No, it wasn't Edge. Forgot who it was.
Rated RKO.
And then we also had that one year with
Randy Orton.
that was Edge and Randy, but they were out there. Jericho? No, Jericho never won. It'll come to me. But there's sometimes like this little you get two partners at the end with someone in the final. In 09, Randy and Legacy and Triple H were the final four. And Triple H almost overcame the 3-on-1. He got out beat Ted DiBiase and Cody, and then Randy snuck up behind him and eliminated him.
Man. Teddy DiBiase, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Nah.
Get your act together, buddy.
Oh man.
If MJF wins this is such a fucking badge on your resume.
That would be, for me, I would like to see him with Money in the Bank briefcase, not gonna lie.
MJF? Hell yeah.
Yeah, for our universe, yeah.
I'd like to see him take on like the Rock's role back in SmackDown when they first started, you know. Woo!
Quick little spear there.
Just, you know, that superstar who is kind of dancing in between a heel and a baby face.
Oh, damn. Nash is gone. HBK and MJF. This is a fantasy match right here, dude. Dream match.
It actually is. I wonder what Shawn Michaels thinks of MJF. I bet he has nothing good to say, but I want to know what he really thinks about him.
Oh, I think he likes him. I think a lot of people like MJF. Honestly. He reminds me of a cockier and more vocal Triple H, like when Triple H was, you know, with the McMahon Helmsley era.
Look at this cutscene, intense.
Okay. That's how it should be.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually looking back at the Hunter Hearst Helmsley character of Triple H, and that's pretty much what MJF is. You know, like
like a modernized version of it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm better than you. You know it. That always works in pro wrestling.
Hunter didn't do it that well though during that character. I don't think so. I don't think the world was ready for it.
Well, I don't think he necessarily wanted to do it either. Like he wasn't committed to it.
Oh,
see you later. There we go. Okay, now it gets interesting.
Baby. From Plainview, Long Island, New York.
Mr. Money in the Bank. Hey, could this be something that happens in the future?
Oh shit, that would be crazy.
Like real life? Uh-oh.
That's a clip. And if you want more clips, you can find us at The Cave on all social media platforms. That's at The Cave. K4,
K4
V3.
V3.
Now we got Adam Copeland versus Kane.
Yes. Now this match I'm sure has happened before. Actually, it has because Lita, I think, was part of it.
Huh. You know what this match
Kane was-
reminds me of? Just because
What's
it's
up?
current too. Luchasaurus and Adam Copeland.
Oh
Or
my
Kill
god.
Shot. Kill Shot.
Kill shot, yeah. I hate that they renamed him Kill Shot.
I
Luchasaurus
do
just
too.
might as well just do it. If you're gonna rename him, you gotta take the freaking dinosaur gimmick away.
Yeah,
That was
all
like
in
so
all,
perfect.
right?
Like for as corny as it was, like Luchasaurus was the right name for that.
Mm-hmm. I think it still works just because of the new or
Kill
the
Shot?
well, not Kill Shot. I think the black rebrand, but still
Yeah.
keeping the dinosaur mask was cool just because it reminded me of that that dinosaur from fucking Jurassic World, the black raptor,
Oh yeah.
which was badass.
Blue.
Yeah.
No, the Indoraptor, the one from Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, the Fallen Kingdom. There you go. You had the black and gold
Hey,
fucking hybrid
off
raptor.
topic. I really dig those new Jurassic Park movies, dude.
Okay. Since you brought it up, I watched the third one. Was it Fallen Kingdom?
Yeah.
The third one? Yeah. I walked out,
Dominion.
Bro. Dominion.
You walked out Dominion?
I walked out on Fallen Kingdom and I walked out on Dominion.
Really?
I really like Jurassic World though. The first one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's pretty much like the first one all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I like where they were trying to take. I didn't like Dominion as much, but I like the effort that they put in to try and continue that franchise. I did like the concept of like the dinosaurs, like making it to the mainland, not like in
Lost World.
not like in Lost World. This one felt different, or they had the chance to do it differently. But I also did like the concept of how like Congress was trying to decide whether or not they should keep them or not alive if they were natural. And I'm sitting there in the theater like, you got to kill these dinosaurs off. Like obviously, like you can't keep them alive. Like you made them. Like that doesn't count. They weren't like they already had their chance. I think Jeff Goldblum's line was like they already had their chance, and then that's the Ice Age, you know. That was like super funny on how that was like tying into how we are, you know, nowadays with stuff like that. So
that part was cool
clever.
to see. I like to see that visually, but I don't know. Like I get to making it kind of like a horror movie vibe, but
a little bit.
I don't know. To me, it was like, this is fucking Jurassic Park, dude. I want to see some dinosaurs. That's why I appreciated visually seeing that aspect of it more so than, you know, majority of the Indoraptor scenes. Now, if they had the Indoraptor fucking hunting people down in the wilderness, then that would probably be dope. You know, like how they had the Indominus Rex hunt people down in the first one.
That was tight,
bro. The fucking first person cam while they were getting hunted. Sheesh.
Yes, it was camouflaged. Yeah, because they used the wrong, or not the wrong DNA, but they used the right one to make it happen. Yeah, it's crazy.
So one of my talking points over here that I want to talk about was the evolution of Kane. God damn, bro. Has this guy ever had fucking quite the character arc? I think this wasn't even his first iteration of it. He was Isaac Yankem, right? He was a fucking dentist.
Dentist. Back when they were doing the Superstars era with all the campy shit before AEW. I mean, before Attitude Era.
Yo, started as a dentist, ended as a mayor. You know, so these fucking Satan worshippers, bro, they be onto something. Which brings me to my other point.
That's good.
And I've said this on one of my segments that I have going on now called Just Joe Reezy, where it's just Joe Reezy. But I said, everyone talks about how wrestling is fake, but now that a lot of the kayfabe stuff is coming out to be sort of real, sort of true, you know, can you argue that it might be more real than how reality TV is portrayed, you know? Because reality TV is based on fake stuff, but it seems like wrestling's based on real stuff. You know what I mean? Seems like reality TV portrays fake stuff to be real, but wrestling portrays real stuff to be fake, you know?
Yeah. No, I do like that contrast. I I actually feel like in a weird way, like pro wrestling is one of the most like authentic forms of entertainment that we have nowadays. Um, like you have the classic good versus evil, which everybody is invested in, right? You got heels, baby faces. Um, and the best part about, at least, when like it was really only WWE, was it was weekly. Like
Mm-hmm.
they never stopped. There's no off season. Like that's what that's where I feel like with certain sports, like they don't have that luxury. Is they have an off season. They stop their season. They have a championship and that's it. Like WWE
Yeah.
doesn't stop after WrestleMania. AEW doesn't stop after Double or Nothing or Dynasty or Revolution, right?
Yeah, if anything, if they have a crazy ass match like Mankind falling off the fucking Hell in a Cell, people want to see him right away on Monday, like the next day. You know what I'm saying?
and he's fine. He was there. Like it's crazy. Like you still show up. They do your job. And like obviously they have all the uh like the safeguards and like they train to execute the moves and stuff, but you still got to put that together, and it's no different than scripting a show or even definitely reality TV. Like that's the thing that with wrestling is it's not hiding the fact anymore that it's scripted. Like it goes without saying, like it's not back in the day where they would say like they would be against that stuff. You have to keep it kayfabe. Like I think Undertaker is, he has a lot of interviews where he talks about that and how he hates like the internet, like it ruined wrestling or whatever for a period of time there. Like he would go to the airport still in character, like that's what you did because that's part of the art and the magic behind it. But when they started to kind of get in this new like real kayfabe stuff that they're doing, where it blurs the lines, like with The Rock when he came back, like that was a good example of them using that to their advantage.
Right.
And like, wait a minute, like he is on the board, and they're saying it on the programming, but is he actually like pulling the strings? Like, because he has the power to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it added more depth to what they're doing, and I think another good example was when Matt and Edge fought. After Lita left Matt for Edge, people
like
wanted to
stuff
see
like that.
They were really pissed. Like that was a real life thing, and they were able to put it together and make money, and that's why a lot of people are upset with AEW that they didn't turn the Punk stuff into an angle, like that those guys couldn't come together and do it for the company, because that would have been the hottest thing in pro wrestling if they would have done it.
They're
that would have
trying
been
to
better,
right now, but I feel like that ship sailed.
It's too late. It's too late. He's not there anymore. So, to me, like that,
trying to teach Edge a lesson. Wow,
that reminds me of Marvel, like the MCU when they did Civil War. That movie is not what it could have been. Like they put it together because it helped with that storyline, but that movie, like that comic storyline, is so much more deep than what we saw.
True.
So.
Oh wow, we got a count out win.
I think
he might have broken his tailbone, man. I think he might have fractured his tailbone.
We got an injury? Adam Copeland hurt?
I think Kane was trying to make a point after that loss from Sting.
Yeah, he was not happy losing to Sting, huh?
Yeah, but no, I agree with you, man. And you got to adapt. Like I said, we brought up when DX showed up to WCW on the last episode. And I said that would have been dope if Twitter was around, because then you would have seen them interact on Twitter opposed to what would have happened, Yeah. But vice versa. Sometimes it's cooler in your imagination than it is in real life. So
yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot of instances where that's the case, especially in pro wrestling.
We got Konnan coming out.
Konnan.
That's Danny's boy.
National Championship, making his way to the ring from Mexico City, Mexico.
And
Weighing in at 241
the Chris Benoit stuff, that conspiracy theory we talked about, might have been playing on the borderline of real shit, kind of like the Matt Hardy and Edge stuff a little bit. If you really look into the WCW storyline between Chris Benoit and his wife.
Yeah, I didn't find out about that until kind of recently, actually. And then it gets you thinking, like, is there a chance that he could have been set up? And like, I think he could have, but the evidence that they gathered, like, it's almost like that's one of those things where it sounds better in your head, you know?
True. I mean, that's the thing about wrestling. If they play in that middle area at the right level, then you speculate and you give me storylines that I can work with. You know, I don't even have to do anything anymore. I'm creative. You're tweeting and you're talking about shit that I should be doing, and their money.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
where I was going with this, and since you know it's me, Joe Reezy, and I'm here in this segment, is also that Vince McMahon stuff about him being kind of racist might be true. That Vince McMahon stuff about him being a womanizer obviously is true. But let's go a little further back. What about that stuff with Vince McMahon being the upper hand in the Ministry of the Darkness in the corporation, and them, you know, diving into the occults and kind of, you know, getting into the dark side? They blended corporation with the Ministry of Darkness, and I said the term business could just be a blanket statement for being a fucked up person. You know, you can fuck over a person who's waiting on retirement, who's needing that job for family, and say, oh, we let her go because of business. It makes more sense for our metrics. Like, okay, I get it, but really, if we take away the business term, that was fucked up, and that was kind of inhumane to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like there has been a lot of a more acceptance to like just be like, yeah, I mean, business is business. And so I guess you can take that, you know, however you want, with, you know, depending on how you value that. But in terms of Vince, it is interesting to see some of these old clips of him, and it's almost like, you know, it's been right in front of us. I've seen a lot of people bring up, you know, Diddy lyrics now, with all the stuff that's been going on with him. And it's like, it probably was right in front of our faces this whole time. Like,
yeah, man.
We just weren't paying attention. We were vibing. Fuck Diddy. I need a girl too, man. This song slaps. You know, we were more than friends. We were like brothers. What?
Well, not even that, bro. You just like, you look at the cover. You don't even like open the book. You just look at the cover real quick, and Bad Boy kind of seems kind of weird now. You know?
Yeah, with the picture of the little kid, right? On the
oh shit, yeah, that was the original logo of Bad Boy. That's true.
Crazy. Yeah, and I think we brought it up too. Like, to me, like the same way that, you know, some people speculate that, you know, Chris Benoit could have been set up. Like, what if, you know, Biggie was catching wind of Diddy and Diddy called the hit?
Yeah, man.
And it's so easy to call it because they're already beefing with the West Coast. Like, I blame Suge. So
that's another episode. So
man,
cap that off. I think, I don't know, man. Konnan's been hitting his head on the fucking canvas. The fucking ladder. I hope he's okay, man. I hope he's okay.
Hey, so Konnan, up until I think this year, probably was up there for top Hall of Fame speech. For the one he did for Ray, yeah, and then, you know, Paul Heyman this year tore it up. But like, Konnan's speech was really good for Ray last year. I don't know if you heard it or not, but a lot of cool stories, cool anecdotes with him.
I need to go see it. I haven't seen
it.
I don't really watch. I don't know Konnan too much. I didn't watch WCW. I don't think he had a WWE run either, did he?
I think he came over with the whole invasion storyline, but I don't think he was a major player in it. Have you actually played
What a
That
dope
mode
ass move.
with like the fucking ladder, like trying to pull it down. When I first started playing this, that was the hardest thing to do. I couldn't time it.
Oh man, Danny and I have had crazy pay-per-views, fucking playing all kinds of matches. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar with this mini game.
That thing is tough. I couldn't figure it out when I first started.
Yeah, you
But
get that.
I think Prime Konnan versus KO would have been a sick match.
Yeah.
And I wish Opera was here because he probably would be able to test it. He's more familiar with Konnan than we are.
Yeah, man. What did we just
Oh.
see? Yo,
Yikes.
someone going out with the no sell. I think he might be concussed though, man. I don't know if
Dude,
that
he's
was
on another level
an
right now.
intended drop kick or he fucking had a seizure.
Dropped onto his shoulders into a powerbomb onto the ladder. That was nuts.
Oh wow. I don't know. KO doesn't really pull his hits too, so that might have been a real boot to the face.
Definitely. I think you know, if like Nakamura and like the Japanese wrestlers are known for like, you know, strong style, like KO is known for that Canadian strong style, if you feel me.
Yeah, he had that run-in with Roman, right, where he bursted his eardrum and
Yeah.
Series?
Or
was it a SmackDown?
It was in War Games.
War Games, there you go. The slap, right?
Yeah, got him good. Roman was pissed, so you could see it in his face.
Yo, it's hard not
to
talk about the Tribal Chief because I acknowledge him, but I love how people miss Roman, man. I love how people miss him.
That is a testament to what they've done with that character over the last 4 years, dude. Like, proof positive right there, dude. They're chanting his name tonight.
Yeah, they are. And I know you've seen the video of him with the Undertaker. Oh my goodness, did you see that?
Yikes!
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, fall away slam onto the ladder.
I don't think you can no sell that one. I think he's fucked up, like literally.
Yeah, KO's got to start climbing this.
But that video of Roman planning it out with Undertaker and kind of being humble, being in Undertaker's presence or in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think Roman's so in the moment as far as how this bloodline stuff is going. I don't think he realizes that he's making fucking Hall of Fame moments right now in WWE. You know, it wasn't that Shield stuff. He's doing it right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he said it in his doc.
I think Konnan's concussed, bro.
Yeah, Konnan's on another level right now. He's not on the earth. Roman definitely knows that he had to do something different to be able to be where he is with the Tribal Chief. So I think he understood the assignment and knew that like something had to change. But I think he was also given the leeway to do it. Let's go, KO.
Oh wow. Yo, prayers to Konnan. I don't think he's doing too well standing over here.
Yeah, we might have to sit him out next week. Might have to skip a show or two.
That's a KO. You know what? I think KO has one of the best entrance songs in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. KO song is legit. So, I mean, this is our first KVW champion right here, right?
Yeah, it is. This is history.
This is the inaugural KVW International Champion. And it's an international man, too.
Yeah, man. Was Kevin Owens ever a champion?
Yeah. Yeah, he Triple H turned on Seth when Finn had to vacate. There's a fatal 4-way, and Triple H pedigreed Seth, and then Kevin covered him for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty sure he's also been WWE champion.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, tag team champion, U.S. champion, intercontinental champion. Yeah. Very underrated wrestler right there, dude.
Yeah, he is. I hope he gets another shot. I don't think there are too many names in the pod for him to get another title run. I think maybe the heavyweight.
I don't know if you caught it, though, but a couple weeks ago when he was coming out for his match, he walked by a table and there was CM Punk merch and he like flipped it over and tossed it off the table.
Oh, that would be dope.
Plant the seeds. That would be a sick match, right? Need that. Yes. This is the kind of shit that's going to carry us now with how everything's formulated. Like, between manias. Like, now when this downtime happens, you're going to get these matches like KO and Punk. You know, you're going to see Cody defend that title against AJ, as we saw. He's #1 contender now for Backlash. That's a Bullet Club Civil War right there.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of
They got a history.
That's the pro of having such a deep bag. The con is not everyone gets
Yes.
their time to shine, right?
Yes.
But the pro is if you have a storyline set for, let's say, CM Punk, and he
Yep.
happens to get injured, then you get to put, you know, someone else up there, and it might just work out better to where, you know, that storyline with CM Punk sprouts a different angle for him to get injected into
Exactly.
the whole game, you know?
Yep. I mean, and when AEW is over there touting about how, you know, wrestlers can go there, get a lot of time off and this and that, like when you have a deep roster like this and you're confident in what you got and your product is good, like we haven't seen Randy since WrestleMania. Like, did you notice he was gone? Maybe,
Yeah,
right? Maybe if you're thinking about it, but like the fact that you might not have noticed is a good thing, because when you see him again, you'll be like, that's right, they got Randy. And then his history with Cody, like that's a story they can do down the road too. So they're in a good spot right now. I know like the We Want Roman stuff, that's good for the product because it's happening during Solo's promos, and like we want that. We want Roman versus Solo now. Like, who's the real tribal chief? Solo's out here acting a fool, right? And the crowd, so the crowd gets it, and that's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a conversation on the podcast about, you know, when rappers try to dumb down their art, just because if you're too complex, then sometimes you put so much effort into the message that it doesn't even get, you know, no one even understands your message. It's so complex. So people, like, you would have been better off just putting out a simple message that people would understand, opposed to like some kind of a cult codex. You know what I mean?
100%.
So in this case, slowing it down, you know, I know sometimes it feels like, and this isn't, maybe we could wrap it up with this. I feel like with people in the AEW roster, sometimes it feels like you guys also have a deep bag, but I don't think you guys are as experienced and as patient as people in the WWE. You know, I don't know if that's trust in Triple H opposed to trust in Tony Khan. I feel like it doesn't work when your workers feel like they know how to run it better than the owner. Even if Tony Khan doesn't know how to run it, like I feel like the difference maker would be if if people like Jeff Hardy and Sting wholly trusted Tony Khan and was like, hey, just trust the boss, then I feel like that would empower Tony Khan. But I feel like there are people over there with big egos that think that they could run the show better than Tony Khan, and Tony Khan's still new. So it gets on his nerves, you know what I mean? But the reason why that didn't work with Vince McMahon is because Vince McMahon's like, bro, I've been doing this since your fucking grandpa was watching wrestling. Don't tell me how to run my shit. You know what I mean?
And to that point, like Vince and Tony, both sons of, you know, successful men, but Vince bought out his dad, you know, like he kind of was cutthroat against his dad because he had to, because he saw the vision. Whereas like Tony probably doesn't know how to do that. And so that mentality, like of being that boss or that ruthless, like you answer to me type of guy is not there with Tony. And there was no better example than the Brawl Out press conference, right? When that started the whole thing with Punk. Like, Punk's literally talking shit to his boss right in front of his face, more or less, right? And Tony just sat there and just like eyebrowed and like looked like he was shocked that it was even being said. Like, because I remember I watched that again and I watched Tony's reactions to this stuff, and he was like cringing instead of stepping and be like, hey, Phil, like you can't say that. Like we'll talk after about it, you know? He's over there sipping Spindrift and like, oh, I'm gonna let him talk. It's my favorite wrestler. Like, you know, so but even still, like AEW is good for wrestling. Like the fact that they exist is good. But that's the difference. Like we were talking about last time was the dream matches. We get that instant gratification with AEW, and that's what their brand is based off of. Now they're trying to pivot to create stories, and they were trying to do it when Cody was there. It was evident, but it wasn't hitting because you could see Cody like didn't fit there anymore.
Yeah,
because he's a WWE guy, and like his promo sounded WWE, but he never turned heel and like leaned into it, which that would have been the difference. So
I thought he was going that direction when he was doing the fire table shit, the table fire stuff. You know,
he should have.
Yeah,
he never wanted to turn heel though for whatever reason. He was getting booed and was still face. Didn't make
full
sense.
circle moment, bro.
Yep.
Just like Bret Hart, he didn't want to go heel, you know, and that's why he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, because he will forever be a testament of you know, as much as you say wrestling is fake, like these wrestlers will not. A lot of these wrestlers won't sell out and do something that's not of their soil. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean.
I feel that.
So, I mean, you can tell me to be a clown, but I'm gonna be my own clown and what I define the clown to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shout out to Doink. Well, feel the burn. That was a dope match. Next time we meet, possibly tomorrow, we got Collision, or let's just do a pay-per-view if we get Danny on here. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Do a Dynasty preview tomorrow.
Dynasty preview. And what's the next pay-per-view for the WWE?
Backlash in France in 2 weeks. But their draft is next week.
Okay. I didn't know that there was a draft after WrestleMania like this. So this is perfect that we did a draft. So we're current, baby. Hell
Current.
yeah. This is
Our dog.
KVW. Make sure you guys check us out on our website at cave.com, k4v3.com. You can access our Patreon over there, where you get access to our Discord community filled with crazy ass people like you and me, brother. I'm Jorizi. This is Feel the Burn. You're watching KVW, brother.
Hell yeah.